Hey guys, welcome back to our video. Today I'm going to be rating the 2022 MM2 Christmas update. The way I'm going to be doing that is basically I'm going to be taking every single piece of content from every single Christmas update and giving it a score. So let's say an update has a battle pass, a leaderboard, and a box that'll have a score of 3. And basically what the system does is that it removes bias, because let's say my favorite update was a certain year, let's say it was 2016, because my favorite weapons were from that event, but 2016 didn't have the most content in it, so definitely isn't actually the best update in MM2, so this system gives a fair playing ground to every update. Since I actually did this last year, I'm not going to be going as much in depth as last year, so I'm not going to be talking about what each piece of content was for every update. In this video, I'm just going to be talking about how much content each had, and then I'm going to be going in depth for the 2022 Christmas update. If you want to see my video from last year, the link will be in the description, and yeah, let's begin. Alright, starting off with Christmas 2014, a lot of people probably don't know that Christmas 2014 even happened. Nothing really happened at all. I think this is possibly when MM1 became MM2, so there was some more stuff added into the game, but I wouldn't really count it just because it was really part of just MM1 becoming MM2, so really this update really didn't have anything and it had a content counter of 2. Next up is Christmas 2015. This is one of my personal favorite Christmas updates and just MM2 updates of all time. That's because it is some of my favorite knives and guns ever in MM2, but obviously this system removes bias, and removing bias, this update only had a content counter of 4. Next up is the worst Christmas update basically of all time. It is a Christmas 2016. This update really added nothing. One of the things it added was flames. That wasn't even removed until Season 1, which is in 2019. So I really shouldn't be counting flames for this update. If I do accounted for the update, it'll have a content counter of 2, but if I don't, it'll have a content counter of 1, so it's 1 or 2, it doesn't really matter which, because this update was just terrible. It was the worst Christmas update of all time. Next up is Christmas 2017. This is when the Christmas updates start to get a lot more content. This update definitely brought a lot. I'm not really a fan of all of the knives and guns in this update, but it definitely had some pretty good radios and effects. But obviously, the system removes bias, and removing bias, this update has a content counter of 5. Next up is Christmas 2018. This update definitely had a bunch of pretty cool stuff in it, like the Grown Tree event. This update definitely was pretty good, and it had a content counter of 6. Next up is Christmas 2019. This update was pretty good. It added my favorite map in Workshop, and also this is probably my favorite Christmas update of all time. It's either Christmas 2019 or Christmas 2018. I don't really know which one I like more, because they're both some of the greatest events in MM2, but this update has had the most content so far, and it has a content counter of 7. Next up is Christmas 2020. I wasn't really a big fan of this update, but it does have the most content so far. It has a content counter of 8. Alright, and now we are on to Christmas 2021, and just like Christmas 2020, this update also had a content counter of 8. Alright, now we are on to Christmas 2022, and I'm going to be going a little more in-depth for how much content this update had. So basically, this update had a battle pass, a new box, a new gifting center, a new Evo, a leaderboard, the Prime Gaming rewards, and 4 new maps. So this update actually had the most content ever in an MM2 update. It had a content counter of 10. So by removing bias, this is the greatest Christmas update of all time. The thing is that for the past couple of MM2 updates, there have been a bunch of repeating maps, which actually gives each MM2 update more points. So actually removing the returning maps and only adding the maps that were added in that update, 2019 had 7, 2020 had 7, 2021 had 6, and 2022 had a 7. So by removing all the returning maps, which to some people could make it seem a little bit unfair for comparing maps, the best MM2 updates ever were 2019, 2020, and 2022, which were all tied at a content counter of 7. So yeah, that is me rating the 2022 MM2 Christmas update. Tell me in the comments what your favorite Christmas update of all time is. And yeah, I think that'll be for today's video. Make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications. I'll troll it outro. Peace.